You've got artwork. You want to take pictures of it. Let's talk about it. Hey, this is Thomas, Tom's Tech Show, and today I'm doing something about photography. There's a lot of times my wife does these little art pieces, like this one back here on the wall, and something you want to be able to take good pictures of different art things and how to do that, and what kind of camera you need. I mean, you definitely can use your phone, but if you want something better, something that looks better, I do have my Canon T4i. This is a very low entry level kind of camera. You can get one of these. These are on Amazon. These two are right here, about this very similar. The Nikon D3500 and the T7s. There's a little bit better Rebel T7 that has the flip out screen, which is always nice to be able to flip the screen out and turn it around so you can look at it and be able to see what's going on. And then you can, like, actually in live view, you can touch the screen, it'll focus and shoot the picture, which is a good feature to have. But any of these low level, entry level kind of cameras, if that's your budget, if your budget's only a few $100s, then that's fine. But what you really want is something that's going to let in a lot of light. And for that, I would definitely go with something like this Sony Alpha. This is A7 2K, which is the kit, comes with the lens and everything else. If you look at full frame sensors, like this one here, you can see that sensors the full of almost the entire opening of the camera. The smaller ones like this have an APS-C sensor, which just isn't as big, doesn't capture as much detail. So something like this Alpha A7 will do pretty well. I mean, any of them will do pretty well. If you can buy into and you're willing to put out the money, sometimes these go on sale for like $1,200 or something. But if you can get into that, the full frame, then that's really going to make a difference in the detail and how much light, because that's what you need. Is the light coming in. So your settings. So once you get the camera right, the other important things that are going to be is the settings that you're going to use. So if I look here, if I turn the camera on and look at the settings on here, right now this is set at about f8 and ISO 100. So those are going to be some of the settings. If I can get my camera and my webcam to work here. Okay. f8 ISO 100. So that's going to kind of be, you don't want to go too far down on the f-stop, because if you go way down on the f-stop, then, and if you're at any kind of an angle, the depth of field may be so small that part of the picture is going to be out of focus. You don't want to go completely wide, because then sometimes, to like f22, sometimes the detail isn't as great on the lens. So usually I'm at f8, maybe 5.6, f8 typically, and definitely ISO 100. That's going to be, or whatever the lowest ISO is on the camera that you get, is definitely going to be the best. Cleanest. As you move up in ISO, you move up in grain, you move up in detail loss. Okay, so, but when I do that, when I get those settings and I hit the button, that's a 1.3 second image. So you're definitely going to need a tripod, and you're definitely going to need lighting. Now, some basic, lighting. I mean, if you want to go really cheap, you can get a white sheet, open your window, put the white sheet over the window, and put your art so that it's at an angle to the, at an angle to it, so it's not shining straight on it, because you don't want any. If there's anything shiny or anything glossy or anything on that artwork, it's going to reflect. So you want it to be at an angle, 45-degree angle going into the artwork. If you don't have that, you can get some, a light, and have one of these like umbrellas that you can shoot through on a stand. Definitely make sure to get the lighting that you get. Make sure that it's, daylight, so that you can have your camera calibrated, for that color of light, because there's different colors of light. So like here, I use daylight bulbs so that it makes what's captured on the camera be more realistic, and that's definitely something that you want. So a lot of different options. The camera's only the first little part of it. Lighting definitely is a huge part of it. And when you're taking, the picture of whatever you're taking a picture of, I wouldn't, like if I'm taking a picture of that right there, and that's 1/8 of a second, I wouldn't want it to be the image, the artwork. I would not want it to be all the way to the edge, because as you get closer to the edge of sensors, often there's, some morphing or discoloration in the very corner. So that's why you need a full frame camera and something with higher, 25 plus megapixels, so that when you take that image and put it into Photoshop or some other editing program, then you can crop it out, and you'll remove all of that kind of vignetting and any edge distortion that's on the edge of the picture, because as you get closer to the edge of the lens, it can distort a little bit. Also, you're going to want to use like 50 millimeter to 80 millimeter, which is going to be 50 to 80 is usually what your eyesight is normally seeing. So if you go really wide, like this lens goes to 18, if you go really wide, it can actually curve and distort the image a little bit. If you go to long, like if I were shooting this all the way at 135, then it makes the image appear very flat, right? So if it's like an oil thing, or you have even just the pencil, can have some depth to it, different things like that. So usually I'm shooting like 50 to 85, because anything else is going to be a little off on that. So there you go. That's just some quick tips on what you need. The camera is just the small part. The other part is definitely lighting, definitely tripod, definitely have, a good tripod. And if you can shoot things like near the floor, it's going to be shooting, like a 1 second exposure, I would leave the tripod like legs all the way down and shoot it, have it be on the floor, and then the art, station, next, a few feet away, and then the proper lighting. That way, as the camera itself, like the shutter will go up and down, that will cause vibration. And if you're using slower speeds, you don't want that vibration to be translated through the tripod. So with the legs all the way down, it's the most stable. Okay. All right. Well, that's everything I think that you need to know. I'm sure there's actually really tons more you can know about it, but that's all we're going to do in this video today. So hopefully that helps you out. Hopefully that gets you started. The camera's only just a little part. The rest of it's lighting, positioning, exposure. All right. Well, if you got any questions about it, feel free to ask me in the comments below. And if you have any suggestions about what to do, how to set it up, feel free to leave a comment on that too. All right. Thanks for watching. Take care.